And I was an assistant minister during Moi's era as a president of the country. Research, technical training, and technology. All these research institutions were under our ministry, and the technical and vocational training. One, I want to sincerely send my condolences to the family and to the Kenyan public, and those also in Kenya that are mourning with us. May the Almighty God rest his soul in eternal peace. I want to remember Moi for very many things. One, I remember him for that appointment, but I want to remember him very sincerely and with a lot of thanksgiving. He was a good boss because number one, he was accessible. Number two, he would listen to you and make sure that he understood what you wanted to communicate, and he would also act without delay. If he was convinced in that first meeting of what you were saying, he would act as you were leaving. He would call the person who was concerned. He had very good memory. He had telephone numbers of the people in government and in his head. He would call when you were there before you left. If it was a PC, he would be called. If it was a minister, he would call and communicate. So and so is here, and he's complaining about this. Yeah, he was a good leader, good listener, and he would act. And whenever a group of people felt that they were oppressed by something the government had taken an action the government was about to take, he would out to the action to find out what people are complaining about. He was a good listener to the leaders and to the public. That's what he was. And I suppose I was an assistant minister, and incidentally, even as an assistant minister, I had some say, because I would talk to him. And even when I was in office, my minister died. And for some time I took over that ministry to coordinate that the body of the minister. So you can imagine that closeness. He was consultative. Even when he announced kwa barabara or kwa mkutano, he had already consulted with the security and with other leaders. He knew it was a thing he had planned. He would not just wake up and get annoyed and see. He would look for an opportunity where he would announce that. Yes, he consulted when the cabinet was formed. He announced the cabinet from Nairobi. So I was announced among those others. Very sincerely and with a lot of thanksgiving because of the current county of Tharaka Nithi that we have. He is the one who assisted to carve it from the old Meru district, and by creating a new district of Tharaka Nithi, and by allowing the Attorney General then to create a bill that was introduced in Parliament and enacted, and he finally assented to the same as a president. And incidentally, that's what made the district of Tharaka Nithi then official, to be like the other 42 districts that we inherited during independence. Another 4 districts were created together with Tharaka Nithi, separately Nyamira, Migori, Makueni, Vihiga. So only 5 other districts, including Tharaka Nithi, were created and made official by going through Parliament. These other districts did not go through Parliament, therefore they were not official districts when the Constitution of Kenya 2010 was inaugurated. And when the counties were created, the 47, it is the 42 districts that were there at independence and the 5 that were created and went to Parliament. That is what formed the 47 counties. So we are lucky that Moi made our district official for us to become a county. So we are grateful that we have a county, a small county, with our own government, with a governor, with a senator, with the other leadership. If we were elsewhere, life would be very, very different. And I remember this district was inaugurated on 14th April 1992 by himself. He came here to inaugurate the district. And the office that Mercy has mentioned, yes, me and her husband put up that kind of office. And we were there for Moi to come and inaugurate the office. So because his government gave us the plot, actually where the current CDF office is sitting. That's a kind of plot, and we are requesting, of course, the kind of people are requesting the government of Tharaka Nithi to offer an alternative land. This is where we want to put in-laws corner, so that we can remember our in-laws, including Moi. We shall also recognize him as a hero, who brought us from Meru to this place. We shall remember Captain, who was very instrumental in building bridges and a few other things. We shall remember Bernard Mati, among others. He was a famous member of parliament. He is one of the members who went to Rejiko when we were getting independence. So we are going to have a heroes corner in Tharaka Nithi, where we can remember our heroes. It's some small history. So we are found about the works of Moi, and he was consultative leadership. He offered consultative leadership. Whenever he visited, he would ask, "Can you please do a leaders meeting?" Then you see, and all of us would do a leaders meeting, and we would agree what our priorities would be, what we would request, and we would present, and people would know they have been represented because they are their views. These days, consultative meetings have disappeared. He was also a very careful listener. He could listen, try and understand you, and act or advise you accordingly. That Moi was. And he was in touch with the actual leaders from the sublocation. The Kano people, the Kano chairman of the sublocation knew he represented Moi, and he would have a way of communicating through that Tharaka to him. And he listened, like a Kano chairman of the district was very powerful. Whenever these people asked me to communicate, I would make a telephone call and discuss the same. When they wanted me to invite him, I would invite him. When they wanted me to take them to State House, I would take them. So that kind of leadership is the rare kind of leadership to get. So we remember him fondly for having been in touch with us during his leadership. We will miss him. May God rest his soul in eternal peace.